Four main things that make up your money mindset. Number one, environment. If your environment sends negative signals about money to you, your money thoughts are bound to have a negative inclination. If you're surrounded by people who keep complaining about inadequacy of money, who keep crying of how difficult it is to make it in the current world, who keep reminding you of how you can never become wealthy given your current circumstances, who keep crying every day, chances are very high that you end up believing most of the things that they will be telling you. You end up having thoughts about money that are largely influenced by what your environment is sending your way. If you live next to a dump site, you might actually end up thinking that the whole world smells that way. Number two, upbringing. Upbringing is perhaps the largest maker of mindset. The things we saw, the things we witnessed, the things we experienced as we were growing up, our systems were picking signals and they end up following us when we are adults. If you're brought up by parents or guardians who kept saying that there was no money, hakuna pesa, chances are very high that when you also grew up and started handling your money and started having children, you also started telling them that there was no money. If you grew up with parents or guardians who used to say, kula tano, weka tano, use 5 and save 5, chances are very high that when you started handling your money, those voices came back. And every time you would receive your money, there would be voices reminding you that you don't have to spend everything, that you needed to spend a portion and remember to save another portion. Number 3, knowledge. As you've been growing and doing life, you encountered knowledge. You went to school, you learned a few things. And some of the things we learned influenced the way we think about money. Unfortunately, not every knowledge we have acquired about money has been good. Some of the knowledge we have acquired about money has been misleading. There are some things that our teachers would say, those things were not even part of the syllabus, but our receptors picked them. For example, many times my teachers would remind me that I needed to study very hard to pass my exams so that I would be able to access margarine, to be able to apply it on bread. And for us, as we were growing, things like bread were very scarce. We would only access bread probably once in a year during Christmas. And so when someone tells you that if you pass your exams, then you'll have access not only to bread, but also to margarine or butter, to be able to apply on your bread, that becomes very enticing. And I tried to work hard and I passed those exams. But wait until I became an adult. I did not see margarine coming through the window. I did not see bread coming. That means that there was another formula that we were not told, that we needed to apply for money to be accessible to us. That the things we were told would come simply because we passed our exams were not going to come just because we did. Number 4, social norms. There are some things that the society you dwell in has normalized, and some of those things are seriously misleading. What is it that you are picking from your society? What is it that your current society is saying or is normalizing? What signals are you picking? What do you see when you log into social media? What are your friends saying about money? For some of us, when we log into social media, we are seeing everybody saying, mwanaume ni deni, that every man needs to have debt, that even the country is indebted. And so who do you think you are in your smallness not to have debt? And some people have gone ahead and sunk themselves into debt, not because they needed to borrow, but because the society they were living in seemed to normalize borrowing. Be careful about what comes into your system to form your money mindset. The good thing about mindset is that mindsets can be changed. So mindsets are not cast in stone. If you know what you're looking forward to become, then check those makers of mindset. Check your environment and shift it if you are surrounded by an environment that is sending negative signals to you. Look at your upbringing and remind yourself that you do not have to replicate everything that your parents or guardians did or told you. Look at your knowledge and remind yourself that sometimes some of the things we have acquired through education or through learning might have been misleading. Begin to surround yourself with sources of knowledge that is knowledge which is positive, that is knowledge that is practical, and especially knowledge about money and how wealth is created. And lastly, don't just take in everything that your society currently seems to be embracing. Learn to challenge the norms that exist around you. Learn to see whether you can be able to come up with your own script on certain things. Be your own person. You can do better.